Right now? Yeah. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the, what day is it? It's
Tuesday.
July 29th edition of the Dawn Patrol, and with me today is Francisco Maldonado. He's a candidate in District 4? 5?
District 8.
District 8 for the whole City Council. He's my co-host today. And also we have Bob Cox, who runs the Bridge Club up there on East Merrimack Street. And John, did you want to address Bob now, or you want to wait a few minutes? Talk about Bob? Yeah. All right.
How's that? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Hoey, co-host here for years, had a severe heart attack last Friday, and they rushed him over to Lowell General by ambulance, and then they med-flooded him down to Boston, so he's down at Tufts, and this morning, Tommy gave me a picture of his address down. Tom Bomil took the time to call down to Tufts to get his address. So take your fancy phone out of your pocket. If you want to send Bobby a get well card, that's a good idea. This is not coming up on the screen. Too many screens open over here. Okay, yeah. Take your fancy phone out of your pocket, take a picture of this, and not having visitors right now. He's got a huge family. He's got like 12 or 13 brothers and sisters, so gigantic family. So no visitors right now, and he's in pretty rough shape, making a little bit of progress. He was, when I talked to his wife yesterday, he's blinking. He intubated, which means they got tubes going down his throat, so he can't talk. So he's communicating by blinking his eyes and squeezing your hand. So he's going in a good direction, but he can use deep prayers. So whatever prayers you got, you can put a few out for Bobby, that'd be great. So that sums it up right now. After 7, we'll do the same thing.
Sure.
Tom, okay?
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just going to keep praying for him, because he's a great guy. And I was saying to Francisco, what a difference a week. We were laughing here a week ago with him, and
Yeah,
he wanted to have his picture taken with you.
Yeah, he was so excited. He waited after we on the show outside for me to come out, and he wanted to take a picture with me in the truck and the sign. And he's a strong supporter. I mean,
and I told John, I saw on Facebook this morning, his brother Gary, the entertainer, has set up a GoFundMe page for him, because they don't know what he's going to need or what type of treatment he's going to need. He had mentioned on this GoFundMe page possible heart transplant. I don't know how bad it is, but so you just got to keep praying. So Bob, how are you?
Doing well, Tommy.
We have some things going down at the Bridge Club, exciting things. It seems every week you call me with something exciting at the Bridge Club, you know?
Yeah, it seems to be that way. It's one of those things that just doesn't stop.
And we had that ribbon cutting about 2 or 3 weeks ago for the Veterans Home.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
Yeah.
It couldn't have worked out really much better. I mean, the folks at the auditorium, they do a great job.
Yep.
Eric Wayne and his staff, and of course Peter Lally, in charge of it all. But just very inviting, and wanted us to be there, and it was pretty appropriate too. We had the Veterans Home, and it was held in the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, Hall of Flags.
Now, how many rooms are going to be in that complex?
What's that again?
How many rooms are going to be in that complex?
There'll be 15 transitional beds.
Okay.
We could probably squeeze as many as 20.
Yep.
But our contract calls for 15.
Okay.
So we should have occupancy on that building, I think, this Friday.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping for.
All right.
So it's going to, that thing really was eye-opening for me, Tommy, because, I mean, what we do on a daily basis, it doesn't get lost in the shuffle or any of that stuff, but like anything else you do every single day, you don't get complacent at it, but it becomes habit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, it might be making a huge impact on someone's life or whatever, but you're dealing with it every day. It doesn't seem to be, I don't mean to say that big of a deal, but you know what I'm saying? It comes to be like the norm. And then all of a sudden we get this opportunity for a contract, and when I realized what the breadth of the contract was actually taking homeless veterans off the street, and actually giving them the first opportunity to have a place to sleep. You know, giving them 3 meals a day, getting them job ready, you know, giving them vocational training, you know, hooking them up with a resource navigator that's going to bring them to the registry of motor vehicles, going to bring them to get their birth certificate if they need it, EBT card.
Right.
You know, hook them up with a social security card if they need
Yep.
it. Get them on Mass Health. You know, so it's a real opportunity to give someone a genuine fresh start in life, and that's, you know, the reality of that was kind of, you know, it was fresh breath of air, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity.
Great, great. And can you talk about that other project yet, or is that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but.
That's on Pawtucket Street, right?
Yeah, my goodness. I mean, this is like, you know, pinch me type thing. We're right on the heels of closing on East Merrimack Street.
Yeah.
And this opportunity for Marchand Hall, which is at 267 Pawtucket Street, which was formerly the residence of the Grey Nuns, the Sisters of Ottawa, Sisters of Charity from Ottawa. Those were the order of nuns that worked at St. Joseph's, then St. Joseph's Hospital.
Yep.
Also the nuns that established Duville Manor. You know, and still a fraction of them, the ones that are left, are still residing. Sister Priscilla Milo, and I don't know if she's by herself up there. Tom, you would know better than I.
Yeah, I don't know, but she are there still nuns in there? Is this?
The nuns are completely gone. They've been out of there for 2 years.
Because I know that's what I remember seeing. I'd see them walking there from church or whatever, but then they'd be going to. So that building was still occupied 2 years ago. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because there was, and speaking of Karen Frederick, the board of directors, I knew you couldn't make it the other day, you were tied up, but the rest of the board walked through the building last Thursday.
Yep.
And of course, it's like walking through the Titanic. I
Yeah.
mean, it's that iconic. It's that, you know, the finished carpentry and the, you know.
Oh, you don't see buildings like that.
Oh, my God.
You don't see buildings like that.
I can only imagine, just the exterior is beautiful, so
Yeah, you know what?
I'd like to see that, the inside of that building.
And Bob,
Really, really something.
if this comes to like, to whatever you want, Patricia, whatever, what is this going to be another veterans type home? What are you going to
Well,
do
you know,
with
it's
this building?
interesting because, you know, because it came up on us so kind of suddenly, it's not coming to light in the same manner that East Merrimack Street did.
Right.
East Merrimack Street, we had the contract and we had to find the building for it. This is the reverse. All of a sudden, the building shows up and we start the conversation with the VA. Hey, we got this potential housing availability. What's the contracts that are out there now that we can do with this? So there is a possibility for an additional contract similar to the one on East Merrimack Street, which is a 5-year contract, and you know what you're getting at. But that includes staffing, that includes 3 meals a day, you know, behavioral and mental health services, the whole wraparound services that go along with it.
Sure.
There is another option on the table right now. We were actually on the phone with Secretary Santiago's office last week, on a Zoom meeting, actually. He's the veterans, excuse me, he is the governor's veterans
agent, whatever you want to, yeah.
I think he's the executive secretary
Right,
of Veteran
right,
Affairs,
right,
is his title for the governor. But he spoke at the ribbon cutting and he said, listen, you guys need any help, so, of course, we took copious notes, made note of that, called him, and said, hey, remember you said you needed, you know, any help we needed? Well, guess what? So,
Now, Bob, that I could see that facility fit in just perfect, because the mission before seems similar to the mission that you're talking about. I mean, do they have a kitchen in there and a hall?
actually, there's 3 kitchens in there.
Oh, beautiful.
Bob, who owns it? The Archdiocese?
No, the Archdiocese has nothing to do with
Okay,
it.
that falls
It's
in-
actually owned by the Sisters of Ottawa.
Wow. Okay.
And it's funny because maybe a month or so ago, it was that obscure Monday holiday.
I remember you called me one day looking for some information, like Sister Priscilla, how you get in touch with her. And so they out of Canada? Is that where their main offices are? The United, meaning the Sisters of Ottawa?
They
you
do.
gotta deal with.
They do, and it's
Remember
funny.
You said you had to call Canada, right?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So it was that day I was talking about, and I called. I couldn't find anybody local.
Yeah.
The 2 numbers that they supplied on AI actually were both, you know, not working. So I called the number they gave me in Canada, and I probably shouldn't say this because Sister Priscilla will probably kill me, but I said to the nun in Canada, I said I was doing research to find out who the local contact was here, and I knew that it was the long-term principal of the school on University Ave, St. Jean d'Arc. And it came back that it was Sister Priscilla Milo, but she had passed away in 2023. So I told the nun that in Canada, and she herself was about 90, and she said, oh my God, don't tell her that, she'll take your head off. I said, so I take her that she's still alive, and she's very much alive, but so AI had it wrong, but nonetheless, she's the local
Contact.
and decision maker. She's it. And to your point, Francisco, is that when the broker presented her the offer, and she saw that it was the Bridge Club, he said she was thrilled because she felt like the Bridge Club would carry on the mission of that building that the sisters had established for so long. Yeah. So that was nice to hear.
That's great.
It was great to hear.
That's great.
That's we need that. I know that also puts them in a place real close to the veteran hospital here in Lowell, right? Is that still open up on by the cemetery there?
Oh, the
VA.
The VA.
Yeah, it is open,
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge. I don't use it, obviously, but
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge, that's still open and operating.
Yeah.
But to finish that point, Tom, so the Secretary's office made a secondary suggestion, and that would be to go after and secure 29 VASH vouchers. Now, VASH is basically a Section 8 voucher set aside as a separate program for veterans.
Right.
And it's called the Veterans Assisted Supported Housing, VASH.
Yeah.
And those act exactly as a Section 8 certificate does. Difference with those is as a veteran is disabled, that veteran, if it was 100% disabled, the VASH voucher covers 100% of their rent.
Okay.
And the percentage of their rent that's covered goes hand in hand with the percentage of their disability, whether it's 50, 30, 20, whatever it happens to be.
Great.
So that would be the option 2.
Yeah.
Now, how many people can you fit in that
That would be 20, there's 29
units?
single-room occupancy units in that are completely furnished.
Wow, that's
And it's funny
great.
because you talk about, they don't build buildings like that anymore. But, to their credit, when they built that building, most of the bedrooms have the armoire, the drawers, and the bed frame built into the framework of the room.
Oh, my God. Wow.
All of the mattresses, and the ones that don't, even that are separate,
Yeah.
have mattresses on the beds. They're all brand new. They're all commercially wrapped mattresses. So you could basically pick up a towel and a bar of soap and move in there tomorrow.
Yeah.
The sisters never shut off the utilities.
Wow.
And believe it or not, even though it was vacant, they had someone coming in there every week cleaning.
Yeah.
The places you could eat
Well,
off the
probably
floor.
smart, yeah, keep it up, and, because, some people, buildings can fall apart if they're not being maintained even when they're vacant.
Right.
I've seen, so, that's good. It's always good news coming out of the Bridge Club.
Yeah, well, Tommy, this thing just blows me away because walking through it, the first time with Brian McMahon and Randy Carter, my veterans program manager, we were down in the basement looking at the utilities down in the basement, and everything is up to date. I mean, it's fully sprinklered. The sprinkler system is as modern, it looks as modern as the one that we just put in Bridge Street. Even the plumbing has, the new style 3/4-inch copper gate valves. The hot water tanks were replaced in 2022. The two boilers were installed in 2018. It's Dave Fuller even said, wow, there's nothing in that building that was going to require a lot of adjustment in order to get occupancy. That's what I asked him. What would I have to do to get occupancy?
And then we almost said a third one, right? The old rectory?
We're still working on it.
It's the convent, convent or rectory?
It's a convent.
Yeah.
You had mentioned the Archdiocese, and it's funny because Mike Miles and I were down at the Archdiocese of Boston 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mike still is one of the longest-serving clinicians that is helping the people from the sex abuse scandal.
All right.
And he works directly with the Archdiocese, so he goes in once a month and brings a bill in. And the people who he deals with are the administrators of the Archbishop.
Okay.
So we went to Mass at noontime, and then went to the office after, and we're fortunate enough to speak to some of the people down there, and just to put a bug in their ear about St. Michael's.
Yeah.
But
Great.
that is very much still on the
great.
auction block, or not auction block, but in the talking point stage, so.
Great. So, man, it's something.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
That comes around
Yeah.
too, and
Yeah.
my gut is telling me it's gonna come our way.
Good.
I really believe that.
Good, very
I'll
good.
pray for you. I like the idea. That's a great location for that.
Yeah.
And, both locations are in real good locations. I mean,
Yeah.
the convent and the one on Pawtucket Street,
Right.
that's fantastic,
And one of the Pawtucket Street has been under agreement 3 or 4 times over the last couple of years, and, in doing a little bit of research, the problem is it kept getting shot down in ZBA, because it would go before ZBA, and somebody, unless you have a specific program that could be tailor fit for that building. You've got to do some serious adjustments to, address the parking situation.
Yep.
And if you wanted to change anything aesthetically, you just can't, because it falls under historic preservation. So, people's hands are tied as to what the usage is.
Yeah.
And all 4 times, I think it was, that they went before ZBA, because it was a change of usage, they had to get a zoning variance, and it kicks that whole parking requirement into existence, which means like 1.5 spaces per customer or what have you.
Yep.
Whatever the requirements are for that particular.
Well, Bob, I'm hoping for the best. I just like the idea that it's so close to downtown. It's there's a bus route
Bus line,
there.
yeah,
You know
bus
what I mean?
route, yeah.
And also close to the hospital, all those,
Yep.
locations you can actually walk to if you really needed to.
Now, is this some type of project, Bob, that, that the neighbors be informed of, so they're not blindsided that this
You
could
know
be
what,
happening?
the neighbors,
Might be
there, you
good.
think about that building, you look at it, I mean, to the right, you got the UMass Lowell parking lot.
Yeah.
Across the street, you've got the funeral home in UMass Lowell.
Yeah.
And to the west of the building, you've got a mixed-use building there, commercial and residential.
Right.
Those would be the only really abutters that, per se, that are
That's true. That's true.
taken into consideration, but the usage that we are planning to put in there is not really going to be altered all that much from the nuns. I mean, obviously, the nuns are about as quiet as you can get, but, the second option under those VASH vouchers, Tommy, would be to provide 29 units of permanent veteran housing. That would be the difference. So, but, we don't have to staff it, we don't have to feed them 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
We can provide resources for them, but we wouldn't have to staff it like we do on East Merrimack Street.
Sure.
It's definitely a appealing option.
So what would be the next step? Now, you've met, you've got the tour,
We've gone through it, we've already locked it up, it's off the market, we're going
Right.
to purchase and sell, what's today, 29th? By the 31st, we go to purchase and sale.
Oh, wow.
And then
So
we have
fast.
due
Okay.
diligence to the end of September.
Wow.
We've already,
Fantastic.
I've already been on the horn and met personally with Washington Savings Bank. We've met with Lowell 5 via Zoom, and now Rockland Trust is in the discussion as well.
Right.
I called Rockland Trust and I said, you guys got an opportunity here to make a splash in Lowell before you even get here. And they like the idea, and they're a very benevolent organization. They give a ton of money away.
Yeah.
And talking to Chet Zablak early on in East Merrimack Street, he had done the dynamics, and he said, Rockland as compared to Enterprise, they have exactly 4 times the assets, and in line of what Enterprise gives to the community, Rockland Trust actually gives 4 times what Enterprise gives as well. So the dynamics shouldn't change all that much as far as a community partner.
Has that change happened yet? I mean, I know
It's going to October 13th.
because I noticed they haven't changed any signage or anything, because I know that was going to, on the banks or anything, so October, in October.
Chet had set his retirement, he told me, for that President's Day weekend, whatever weekend that is.
Oh, Columbus Day weekend.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
the target date for the actual
okay.
changeover. However, one of the contractors that comes into the Bridge Club was saying that he's got the accounts at Enterprise, and they've already changed his checks over to Rockland
Oh,
Trust.
really?
We have our operating accounts are there now too.
Yeah.
As well as Jean d'Arc, but we haven't got any notification of change like that, so, I don't know. But it's coming soon.
So, great, a lot of good stuff coming out of the Bridge Club.
Yeah.
Francisco, you've been
I'm absorbing all
How's
this
the campaign
information.
going?
The campaig's going well.
I mean, you were here last week, and
Yeah.
you seem to be fired up, and you seem to be doing all the right things, and you're addressing issues, and we're going to have another candidate for council here at 7, so.
Yeah, Sixto running
yeah.
that lodge.
Yeah.
Dejesus, I'm not a Latino. I'm so excited. This year we have 3 Latinos that are candidates in different parts of the city,
Yeah.
and we're looking forward. The community's excited. I'm hoping that we can motivate, be the catalyst, as I say, for the Latino community to understand that voting is a must. You got to vote all the time.
That's the key. We talked about it last week. People don't vote. And you can check, we know it in Draco, Bobby, nobody votes, but if you can get them out there, it's key. I mean, pick them up, give them a ride.
And a little secret on, if you're a voter, you vote once in a while, you got to understand your voting rating is not very good. You got to vote all the time. This is new to me. I didn't know that voters get rated. So if you want to be like a number 5 with what I was told was like the top gold voter. You have to vote every election, every
I'm a gold voter.
every year. So,
You too, Bobby. Right?
well, I mean, I'm a veteran, so you know what I mean. You had 405,000 Americans die during World War II, for the right to vote,
Sure.
and the right to come to this country and say what you want and do what you want.
Yeah.
And, especially Lowell, we're the kickstart on community for a lot of these migrants that come here and want that American dream. So, I mean, I just think you gotta vote. You have to vote all the time. And we have an election this year locally that's important.
And you have a primary race.
Yeah, we have a primary.
It's not
September
always
9th. That's probably the one thing I definitely want to make sure we repeat a couple of times is a primary for District 7, which is the Acre, and on District 3, which is on Belvedere, and on District 8, which is the Upper Highlands. Important, September 9th. You definitely want to go out there and vote, participate. If there's any
Cisco,
politician...
you sat with Marty Laurie for the debate on, was it Saturday?
Yes,
How'd it go?
It went well. We had some mic problems, so I'm going to reach out to Marty and ask him to get us back on the radio. My mic was dead. I've had folks that supported me, and they're like, we didn't hear you. You should go back. So I'm definitely calling Marty and asking for more radio time. We'll probably have another debate. So if you're listening, Marty, let's make that happen.
Monday, well, it's going to happen again. Another debate tonight.
Yes,
Was it 6 o'clock he's doing, or 6:30?
I'll
text him.
I thought it was 7 o'clock tonight. There's two.
I'll text him so we get the right.
Two of them. I know.
John, have you thought about doing anything like that? I know you've done it in the past with the Register of Deeds race and I think a state rep race. Did you ever?
I have found it almost impossible
Oh, okay.
that one won't show up, one's got the wrong day, one goes to LTC downtown,
That's right. That's right.
and, you call him a guy, where are you? I can't get in. Well, where are you? I walk around the frickin' house,
Yeah.
and he's running around LTC's building downtown Lowell, and they're like, what a frickin' mess.
So we were talking before we went on air about this.
On the screen right now was this, I stole this out of this morning's Lowell Sun.
Okay, I was going to talk about that, yeah.
Everybody is, I just copy and pasted this onto this board here, and this is everybody run for office in Lowell, and like Cisco just said, there are a couple of preliminary races, like, you said District 3 is going to have preliminary race?
Yes.
And District
7.
7, and
8.
District 8.
8. And that will be on September 9th. So we're asking, more from the voter. That'd be twice to go out on, I think both days are Tuesdays, right? So,
Yeah,
but you really got to participate. Again, your local elections are more important to you personally, and especially now on where we're developing the city, and there's a lot of concern, especially my district, with no input into these developments, and they feel that the brokers, the investors, the real estate folks are getting a better deal than the people that are butting some of these properties. So this is your opportunity to get involved and make sure that your voice is heard.
We'll talk about it more when Sixto gets here, but we also talked about the article, you'll see it probably later if you didn't see it, about some vandalism of signs. And you said that hasn't affected you yet, nobody's touched it.
No, but now they might want to. No, I really...
It sounds like it was Danielle McFadden, Erin Gendron, Paul Rethiem. Those were the candidates I heard that had their signs.
Yeah, they actually had a banner slice. It looked like it was sliced with a sharp on item, and that's just, we don't need that. We're better than that. And I understand this silly folks out there, adults, young adolescents. You don't need that.
No.
Plus, it's a crime. It might be even a federal crime.
So's doing 75 on the highway. This Nobody's going to get arrested for that.
John, so negative. No, we just need to change behavior.
No, Cisco, I mean, okay, now you're a retired cop.
Yeah.
How many times did you arrest somebody for killing a political sign? Can I help you
No.
with zero?
No, I just said, I'm not even sure the law, so it's something we
No,
don't.
it's a terrible thing to do. It's probably a bunch of kids. I remember yesteryear, I had a bunch of signs on my lawn. My wife does not allow me to put political signs on my lawn anymore. And happy wife, happy life, and that's what she wants, and that's cool. But all the signs were missing. I get one, all the signs are gone. So I went bananas. So we went on the security camera and backtracked, and the girl who does the security camera, she says, it's the guy who cuts the grass.
What?
The guy who cuts the grass.
Oh.
He picked up all the signs,
Oh.
put them in one spot, they were all still on my
They were still
porch,
there, okay.
neatly stacked up by the guy who cuts the grass. He just didn't put them back. And so I asked him, when I saw him next time, he said, I didn't know what to put them in. But I had to cut the grass. So stuff happens.
One of the innocent excuses.
I'm surprised he didn't ask for more money to put the signs back up. That's what I would have said. That's another $25 a sign.
Yep, good point.
Not in the contract.
That's something that's been going on for
Forever.
beginning of time, for crying out loud.
When I was a
Holy
kid,
moly.
working in campaigns.
Oh, jeez.
But I think on this year's been really exciting in the city. Like I said, we haven't seen signs out so early, and I'm actually getting people every day calling, hey, can you get a sign out to my house? So, I mean, it's just good to see people more involved in the democratic process, which I've always said, you look at the numbers, like in the Upper Highlands, we have 9,500 people registered, 9,500 people registered. 1,300 went out and voted. 800 determined the seat
Yeah.
for that district. I mean, that's just so low. That's 13% of the registered voters up there. I mean,
Cisco, you got to get your family to vote.
oh, I thought we were going to have more kids.
If
We're trying.
you have more kids, it's going to be 18 years before they can do anything about it. But you got to get your family and your friends to vote. And having parties is a great idea. Have a cookout, do whatever you can, and just get people to vote for you. And because voting to me is like golf. I've never golfed in my life. A lot of my friends love golf. I'm not putting it down, it's just not my cup of tea. And voting to most of America is not their cup of tea. After all, what's in it for them? Better government, really. Will you guarantee me better government I vote? No, I won't, but it's just...
Either that or people feel that their vote isn't going to really count, doesn't matter all that much, and they don't realize how much it does.
Yeah, and
Elections
locally.
have been settled by a handful of votes, I mean,
And my last little point is, I don't want people who don't know what they're doing to vote. I want people who know, okay, Francisco Maldonado is my guy, I'm going to go in and vote for him. But to go in there blindsidedly and just read it, why isn't Rita Mercier why isn't Rita on all these ballots? Why isn't Rita on each one? So I'd rather have an educated people voting rather than people who don't know what they're doing.
And I agree, and I think it's up to the candidates to get out there. I mean, I've it's knocking on doors. It's a full-time job, and I've been doing that on just going out. But a couple hours in this heat, especially with the weather we've got, it takes a toll on you. So yeah, I think you go out, educate people, and you go out on the radio, this show, and also try to get the message out. I sponsored the Puerto Rican Festival this year, so I'm going to have a table set up to register as many of the folks that participate. And they got a great lineup. So this Saturday, August 2nd, and Sunday, August 3rd at the J.F. Kennedy Center downtown next to City Hall. There's free entertainment. Some of these artists are really up and coming, so I expect a large crowd. And it should be a fun time. There's going to be some music. The culture is going to be everywhere. There'll be a lot of flag raising and flag waving, and everybody wears a flag. And a lot of the folks in Lowell don't, even the kids don't understand where that came from. That came from the Puerto Rico, where they were persecuted for showing any nationalism in the, I think there was a ban on waving the flag, and so the people revolted, and they were out there with the flag as often, and they just transitioned to the generations after generation. And even today, you see them in the cars and stuff like that, but that's where the flag is so dominant when the Puerto Ricans come out.
You were talking earlier, you mentioned about how early the signs go up. Town of Draco, you cannot put a sign up but 30 days before the election. Town of Chelmsford, Tingsboro the same way. And I'm surprised that we have a bylaw, right?
Yeah, sign ordinance.
Yeah.
30 days, and you see them pop up like 30 days right before the election. You'll see them popping up in
And
Draco.
I wasn't sure about that,
Yeah.
and no one said anything, so they just kept
Well,
coming
no,
out.
if nobody's challenging it,
Yeah.
you know somebody would challenge it.
Well, the only thing that, I'm not gonna pick on Tommy Golden, Bobby
You're
Cox.
not?
Out of respect for Bobby Cox, I'm not gonna pick on the Golden Man this morning. But it's up to the city council to demand that the city put out their electronic signage a week before voting can start, that voting day is XYZ. Because everybody driving by this house this morning has no idea there's a TV studio in this room. They have no idea. They don't watch City Life. They don't get the Lowell Sun. They don't listen to WCAP. Oh, everybody listens to CAP. Everybody gets it. No. And so how do we tell the general public it's voting day? I mean, you can drive by Kilkenny's Pub and you know it's St. Patrick's Day because he's got it up on the sign. But the average Jane and Joe, unless somebody coinks him in the head and tells you it's St. Patrick's Day, they don't know. And so that's why our city council has got to demand that our city manager put out our electronic signs a week before the election, tell them when voting day is.
Yeah, and we do that. We have that.
You do that in Drake.
Yeah. Even just not even that, they'll put other things, like say if it's hazardous waste day, or trash is being delayed a day, or something like that. We have that electronic signs going. We have 2 of them, I believe.
Well, Tewksbury, the land of Oz, they have an electronic sign in town center, and bingo, everything that's happening is up on that. You stop at the traffic light in Tewksbury Center, and you glance over to the electronic sign they have, and they tell you everything that's going on.
Right.
But not long, we're going to hire more of our friends. I got 2 messages. Good morning, best of luck to Mr. Hoey. He's one of the best in the city. That's from Jay. And then Jay sent this one here recently. Every city councilor that has come on the program have told citizens that taxes are going up. How do we get taxes to go down?
The magic question.
I'll take that question on. We gotta go through the budget. I mean, there are a lot of places in the budget and low that you can cut back on. We have a lot of departments that are top heavy. I just came from the police department. I know personally that department was audited not too long ago by independent agency that said you have a top heavy department on. You need to cut back on some of the management and some of the top leaders. They're not really effective for the end result here in Lowell. I mean, we're still short on 30 police officers, but yet the number of management positions just seem to keep going up.
Francisco, the best way around it is when somebody retires, I don't care if it's custodial or manager, when somebody retires, that position, okay, I put it for, it isn't like, when you retire in the city, you have to tell them long before I'm retiring in September. You give them there's a long leeway. It should go on the city council agenda. McDonough is going to retire. He's in charge of all the brooms in the city. Do we need to replace that position? And if they decide, well, you know what, we're going to have Bomil take McDonough's brooms job because we don't use brooms like we used to, so we'll find a nice way to say, McDonough, we don't need you anymore, we're not going to replace you. But if that's how you save a lot of money. The city council has got to say, we really don't need McDonough. We don't need to replace him. Thank you for your service and let him retire. That's going to save you $100,000 per position. That's my take.
And that's
Not looking to fire anybody,
Yeah.
but when they retire, let's take a serious, because
And I agree there. You're not looking to take people's jobs away. We don't. But I agree that you really look at the jobs as folks retire and determine whether you really need to have that position in the budget. And I would probably take it off the budget and make those managers come back and say, this position is important, and have them explain the reason why we have to go and ask the taxpayers for more money, or, every taxpayer should know exactly where every dollar they give is spent in the city. That's my take on that.
So Bob, before we run out of time, the Bridge Club, generically, if you could tell the audience, what does the Bridge Club do for the community? I know you guys are down there saving lives, and how do you go about doing that? And if I want to go down the Bridge Club and participate, what's it going to cost me? And how do I get, and if I have a problem with gambling or whatever problem I might have addicted to, why should I go down there, and what's it going to cost me?
Well, the quick answer to the question is it's going to cost you zero. Services that we supply are all for free. Our original mission is still what it was back in 2018, we're addiction recovery, drugs, alcohol. We support.
A little closer on the mic, Bob, if you would.
Pardon?
A little closer on the mic.
Yeah, we support, anything to do with addiction recovery, and the associations that support AA and NA, like Al-Anon and things like that.
So are you going to call up or just walk in, or what?
Walk in, you can call up, you can get on social media, go on our website.
And you're right across the street from the Lowell Memorial Auditorium.
33 East Merrimack Street, exactly, right across the street from Lowell Memorial Auditorium. We're open 7 days a week. Right now, hosting over 30 AA and NA meetings weekly. We offer services for people who are trying to put their lives back in terms of employment. We're a community hiring partner directly with Amazon. We provide transportation to and from work 7 days a week for people in recovery that want to get a job to start getting in the habit of going back to work and build a career. We also offer vocational training opportunities through recovery coach training in-house, as well as culinary training. We've completed one complete segment of our culinary program, was hugely successful. And as a matter of fact, the second class is starting tonight. And Mike O'Reilly's coming in to present certificates and the professional knife sets that the graduates get from the previous class tonight as well. So tonight's a big night at 4 o'clock at the Bridge Club. So, but it's all about giving people the resources and the opportunities that they need. We deal with people in the recovery community, the reentry community, through memorandums of understanding with the Department of Corrections, as well as the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office. Take people directly out of jail, give them the opportunity to get housing, job opportunities, that type of thing, give them clothing. We have programs behind the wall in Department of Corrections that we're running now. Weekly, we go in and do wellness workshops to let people know what resources are there for them when they get out of jail, so they're not just stuck on the street by themselves.
Now, don't you have now, my memory is not as good as I'd like it to be. I thought when we talked before that also there was, you help the families of these people too.
Not so, we have support structure for the family, but no, not centered around the family, we're centered around the individual.
Okay.
To be honest, that's our mainstay.
Understood.
That would be a little out of our wheelhouse.
Isn't that called Al-Anon? What's the thing that?
Al-Anon?
What is people that deal with, like, say if I was an alcoholic, and my wife would belong to
it's
something
Al-Anon,
else.
right. Families of alcoholics, helps them deal with, not so much the disease, but deal with the person.
Dealing with the person,
Dealing with the disease, right. And usually successful program. And, there's a lot of people have dual diagnosis as well, drugs, alcohol, so the Al-Anon will help with that as well.
Yeah.
It's a great program. People should not shy away from that, because it takes a lot, it helps deal with the stress at home of dealing with an alcoholic or an addict on a day-to-day basis, because it's not just the alcoholic or the addict whose life is affected by that, it's the family members, the spouse, the children. And Al-Anon, it plays a huge role in that.
And that even continues on, let's just say somebody's dry, is the term right, dry, you say 5 years or something, those Al-Anon things can keep on, right?
Al-Anon as well as AA, you're never cured. People say I'm cured, well, good luck for you. You'll be one of the few, because this disease lives on in people's minds and in people's, systems, and it's just one of those things. It's a progressive disease, and that's why you see people who relapse after a period of sobriety, that once they relapse, it's difficult to get back because this disease is laying dormant. It's like a cancer that goes into remission.
Right.
It's very similar to that.
Yeah.
And when it reappears, the results can be devastating, you know.
I've always, when I dealt with folks that I thought going that way, I said, you know, your best thing you can tell your friends is you're allergic to alcohol. I always thought that was a better approach because if someone says, hey, I'm allergic, they don't come back and say, oh, you know, you're on the wagon, just one won't bother you, you know, just have one.
Just want to calm my nerves.
Yeah, I've always said, just tell the folks you're allergic to it, just like penicillin. You don't say, oh, take just a shot. It's not, it ends the conversation real quick. I mean, I think just education is important. And,
Well, it's funny because, to your point, people would say, you know, some of the old timers, yeah, I'm allergic to alcohol. Every time I drink, I break out in handcuffs. You know, very true to a lot of cases. But you're right. You know, whatever it takes to let people, you know, not put you in those awkward situations. You know, people go to weddings. You know, they don't want to miss a wedding, but they don't want to be around the festivities because it's a trigger.
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
the key is to try to either learn how to deal with the triggers or stay away from them. You know, a lot of people will go to a wedding and you see them walking around with a bottle of water, so people won't offer them a drink. You know, it's all different kinds of, you know, hints that you can get from people that have done it for a long time, and that's really, I don't know what the beauty of AA or NA is. You're learning from people that have dealt with this before.
And when you battled it, and you beat
Still
it,
do,
basically.
yeah.
But I'm saying,
Yep.
you, with the restaurant, it must have been tough. Did you stay out of the restaurant then when you were?
I did purposely for,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, honestly, since 2018 or maybe 2019, till present, right
Yeah.
up till the restaurant closed in December.
Right.
I could probably count on one hand how many times annually I'd be in there.
Right.
And it would be to drop something off that, you know, if they needed something, I would go get it for them and bring it down. It wasn't that I was purposely trying to stay, quite frankly, Tommy, I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, there's a degree of that. Why put yourself in a situation that, you know, the potential is there if you don't need to be, you know? So it's, some of it's just being aware of it.
Sure.
Because this thing sneaks up, it's a disease, and it sneaks up on you, and you least expect it. And,
Sure.
And that's the truth of it. And it's hard to, and I included myself, it was hard to wrap my head around the fact that people call it a disease. I thought that was like a easy way out for me.
Right,
If I
right.
call it a disease, I don't feel that bad about it or whatever. It's a bunch of nonsense, you know?
Sure.
I mean, truth of the matter is a disease, and it's a disease that lives in your mind, and
Yeah.
you carry it with you for the rest of your life, and
Yeah.
you either come to terms with it or you don't.
You tell me stories, you told me stories here on the show that there's meetings, and you sometimes, this one person could be at that meeting, right? You'll have a meeting. no matter
Absolutely,
what,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Friday morning, 6
And
a.m.
you say you're open like Christmas Day too, right?
Every single day, 365 days a year. And actually, the Christmas Day, New Year's, and Thanksgiving,
Those are the tough ones?
that's a trifecta. People call it in the program a trifecta, you know, because those are the three major, you know, think about it. Your family's drinking, partying. You grew up in it, or you didn't, but most, you know,
Yeah.
most of today's society, those are the celebration times.
Yeah.
So we run alcothons all day long and overnight now.
Really?
Yeah, just a constant availability of meetings so people can just have a place to escape to. And you'll be surprised, you know, people come walking in at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, rather than, you know, succumb to the
Right.
temptation,
Right.
they'll show up and walk in, have a cup of coffee, and it could be one-on-one.
Right,
Sit down and
right.
talk to somebody, and that's
Right.
the difference between breaking out and not breaking out.
Sure.
So it's pretty much whatever it takes, you know.
So-
But it's amazing to see the transformation in people once they get it. And you know what? I hope we have a quick second, but the other story I've told you guys before in the show, January 2nd of 2021, after a year of going through COVID, we stayed open during the whole time. And it was frustrating at the beginning. So the mantra during the year was like, if we could just save one life, you know, it'll be all worthwhile. And we had a girl that came in on January 2nd of 2021 after a suicide attempt, threw herself into the Merrimack River. You remember that?
Yeah.
And she came in and she was wandering, she swears God pulled her out of the river. And she was walking through Lowell and she ended up at the front door of the Bridge Club. That girl, since that day, has been sober has become a recovery coach, and I bring her up because she was in my office Friday, because Mike Miles had done an assessment for her to get her license back. She's been sober, she got her kids back in her life, she has a house now, she's living in Haverhill, renting, but nonetheless, and she's going to be going back into the field working in recovery. Yes, she's a recovery coach, she took classes at the Bridge Club, but Mike did the assessment to get her license back, and she might be coming back to work at the Bridge Club as a recovery coach. So, possibly, life's not over, no matter how old you are. And that's a message that should be resounding, is that, you could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s. In my case, I was in my mid-50s when I finally was able to get sober, and, it's not too late. Life's not over.
Yeah, and life is long, we can live up to 100 years old, and, don't give up on yourself. Go out there, get the help you need.
Right.
I mean, people love you, and like I said, you can change it. I love that there's opportunities and people out there like yourself that are willing to help, and it's great to know that if you really want to get that help, there's people out there, and you should take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And my wife's brother had, my wife's two brothers basically died of alcoholism. They in fact, they straightened out, but then they went off the beaten track.
It's an awful disease. As a police officer, and I see the end result, and you have people die by themselves pretty much in bed. Usually someone finds them a couple days after, because they just, it takes everything. It takes their family away, their homes away, and at the end they just die by themselves. So I mean, it's something that I just don't see any normal human want to end up dead in bed and not found for 3 days, because the disease took everything away from you.
Sure.
Such a tragedy. So, and it can be avoided. It's easier said than done. But, exactly to your point, great friend of mine grew up, taught me how to play guitar when I was 10 years old. Family was from Beverly. This kid had gotten sober for like 5 years. This goes back only a couple of years ago. And he was separated from his wife and family. He was living down in Attleboro in a sober home. He had relapsed. And I was trying to get him to come up to the Bridge Club, come to work, get him closer to home and his family in Tewksbury. And we had him convinced. I got him a job, and he was going to start on a Monday. And he called me on Friday and said, I met a girl down here. I'm going to stay down in Attleboro, which was, I knew it was just an excuse. He just wasn't done drinking yet.
Right.
2 months later, our kids had gone to school together in Drake. 2 months later, his daughter called my son and said they found my dad in a hotel room, drank himself to death.
Oh, man.
It was so, that one haunts me.
Yeah.
Because we almost had him. He
Yeah.
was going to move into a sober home on East Merrimack Street and work at the Bridge Club, and this thing just took him, and that's a tragedy.
It's not a pretty death. Your liver just blows up and you bleed to death.
That's what happened to my brother-in-law. That's what happened to my wife's brother. He was found dead in his apartment. We went down and cleaned it up. It was horrible. And it was just...
Well, Bob, you lived through this, okay? And you come in and you got this nice organization going. Before, when you were in the worst times of your alcoholism, what did it take you to quit? What goes through your mind? Hey, look, I got to knock this off.
You know what? It is an acronym, and it's called the gift of desperation. Just happens to be God.
So if you could just talk to the audience of what goes through, because my brother, I couldn't get him to stop drinking no matter what the heck I did. Mm-hmm. And his promise, I said, look, you're going to move back to Lowell, you're going to live with me, and that's the way it's going to work. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to, okay, when's your rent? My rent's going to, okay, 2 days before you're going to get out of here, you're going to get out of here, and you're moving back to Lowell. So 3 days before his rent was running out, he went out and celebrated, and he died that night. He was celebrating that he was going to have, I'm starting a new life, going to go back to my family in Lowell. And that's what happened to the guy.
That's the insidious part of the disease, John, is that, exactly what you just said. I mean, people coming up on their 1 year anniversary, 2 year anniversary, 5 year anniversary, 10 year anniversary of being sober, getting the medallion that celebrates their 10 years. the tendency, in a lot of cases, not everybody, but you hear it in the meetings more and more and more, is that, it's embedded in an alcoholic or an addict. You want to celebrate. Big joke, when we used to golf, we used to play golf with skins for money, right? And it was like win or lose, we're drinking booze, right? Didn't matter whether you won, lost, you were celebrating anyway. But that's the alcoholic's, that's a sickness in an alcoholic's mind, is that the tendency is there to want to celebrate.
Is there anybody that you loved that could have talked to you?
No.
It's got to be the guy in the mirror.
That's the scary part, because love is not enough. And the well-intentioned people can't make a decision for you. This is an extremely personal decision. If you're not ready, you could be, name the most intelligent psychologist in the world, and you're not making a difference. If you are not ready to do it, if you're not convinced that you have to stop and can try to get a path that you can visualize, you got no shot. And no one's going to be able to help you do it if you're not willing to do it. I don't care what treatment facility you go to, how medicated you are, you're still going to come off that medication. You're still going to face life on life's terms. And that's when the reality hits.
So the people who love an alcoholic, there's no shoehorns to make this happen?
That's
There's
why
no words of
Al-Anon
encouragement?
exists. That's why Al-Anon exists, because of the frustration of people, family members, loved ones, who want the best for someone, are so frustrated because, how come you just can't listen to me? I love you so much. I want you to stop. I want you back in my life. Guess what? It isn't enough. And it's maddening. It's maddening. And that's the power of this disease. And for people who have not experienced addiction themselves, it's hard to grasp that someone is so, completely enthralled or completely controlled by a substance. And it's absolutely fact. And unless you've experienced it, you just don't know.
And
You just don't know what you don't
tell
know.
me a story, I think you told me this story regarding your own personal experience. Was it in Florida, and was there a priest involved, or was there something with you and God, in church or something? I thought you told me a story once.
There was a priest that I ended up having to take out to Texas that was in recovery.
Okay, no, I thought some priest helped you in Florida. No, that must be somebody else.
No,
That told me that story. Okay.
No, not in Florida. I mean, Florida is where the Crossroads Club came
Right,
from. That's where my
right.
kind of mentor
Right.
is in Delray. He's going to be
Okay.
97 in September.
Yeah.
But talk about life not being over. It's interesting because he got sober at age 57, and since that day he's been working in the Crossroads Club 42 years, 43 years, whatever it is. And now his life's work is being realized up in Massachusetts. So
Great. That's great.
pretty interesting concept.
Yep, 4 more minutes. Bob, you've got the last, you're leaving at 7, or you staying?
I'm going to leave it to
Okay, so you want to wrap up the next 4 minutes, if you want to just talk briefly?
Sure.
Any fundraisers coming up? Do you need volunteers?
Honestly, volunteers are always great, but we're limited as to how many things we can do with them, because all of our staff are all recovery coaches, so they're all, there,
You probably need money. Let's just, how do we get people to give money? What information do they need? Do you have a website?
A little tight.
Probably like
Too tight.
couple guys in the middle of a political campaign, right?
Well,
No, actually, thanks for the heads up, always. We have a fundraiser coming up, which is our annual Person of the Year. We just, this past week, decided we're going to honor Karen Frederick this year, former executive director of CTI, and a board member of the Bridge Club. So Karen will be honored on October 9th at Lindsay's Person of the Year. The keynote speaker is still yet to be determined. But that's always a great event. And then we actually, interestingly enough, we have an annual Bruins game. The Bruins alumni comes up and plays a game for us every year at the Songus Arena. We just were approached and solidified a date with the Boston Warriors. Now this is cool, because timing being what it is with the transitional housing, this is a hockey organization that's made up of disabled veterans.
Really?
I've never heard of them.
Wow.
And they're all across the country. They're organizations that are generally hooked up with the local NHL team. And the Boston Warriors just established in '23, so they're yet to really get solidified with the Bruins. And we're hoping that this game coming up on Martin Luther King weekend in January, they're going to be playing the Boston Bruins alumni. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to see the Boston Warriors. And then we have the St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, our three big events is the Purse of the Year, the hockey thing, and then the St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's Day, right.
Yeah.
Those are the three fundraisers for us.
Sure.
So,
And those have been successful.
yeah, very
That
successful.
breakfast
Very,
was-
very happy with it.
Yeah.
Talked to Rodney
Rodney's
yesterday
very
about-
big involved in that. He brought it back. I mean, that
Yep,
went away
yep.
after COVID and
Yep.
during COVID, and that was great. It brought it back, and so.
Talked to Rodney yesterday about it. He's excited about it as well,
Yep.
coming up. And, you know, it seems like a long time away, but boy, I'll tell you what, it sneaks right up on you.
Everything flies by.
I mean, October 9th is going to be by the
I
time
mean,
we're...
a month from now is Labor Day almost.
Yeah.
The summers flew by, and
And then 30 days after that is October 9th.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
close,
Oh.
in a week.
Yeah.
So, but keeps you busy and keeps things
So-
flowing. And
Well, thanks. We've got 50 seconds, so thanks for coming on. We'll
yeah,
see you
I
again,
always
I'm sure.
appreciate the opportunity,
Yeah.
Tommy, and
Yeah.
it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I know, I-
wish you the
I
best of
enjoy
luck
it.
in the
Oh, thank
campaign.
you. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate.
I
Thank you for
enjoy
what
it.
you do, and
This
thank
is
you for your service. I
serving
know you
on the,
mentioned you're a
yeah.
veteran, so thank you for your service.
Serving on the board of directors, I enjoy it. I approached you about a year or so ago, and it's a great board, great board.
Yeah, we're very blessed, Tommy, yourself,
Yeah.
and Rita Mercier,
Yeah.
Susan Rourke,
Yeah.
Karen
Tommy
Frederick,
Shanahan.
Tommy Shanahan,
Yeah.
Paul Belay.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to go to break, but Bobby,
All right.
thanks for saving lives down there. God bless.
Thank you, John.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the July 29th edition of City Life. With us this morning is two maybe future city councilors. We don't know. The election's coming up in November. We have a primary for one of them. Francisco Maldonado, who's running in District 8 with two opponents in the primary, and Sixto Dejesus, who's running in the at-large race for city council. That's citywide. So welcome to the show, Sixto. Have you been here before? I know Francisco's been. Have you been on the show before?
No, my first time, actually. First time.
So why don't you tell us a little about why you're running, your background? What are you looking to do? What are you? Go ahead.
Yes. So first, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity, John, McDonough, and Bob Hoey for inviting me to the show. I want to say that I'm keeping my prayers for Bob. It was my intention that he was here today as well, joining us, wishing him the best in his being on the mental recovery. So, Bob, we miss you, and we hope to have you back soon here on the show.
He was talking about it last week when he was here, but I was looking forward to having you here and interviewing him. So
yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be back. We just got to keep praying.
We'll have another interview, Bob, when you come back. Yeah, so I'm running for Lowell City Council. The main reason is because I love Lowell. All my growth personally and professionally has happened right here in the city of Lowell. And I live here for close to 20 years, and in that time I have had so many opportunities, and I want to make sure that we can keep this city a great place for our families to raise our families and in our community. I have experience in the finance side of things, and also in community involvement, and that community service, so that actually helped me and equipped me to be a city councilor and help our city continue to move forward. And part of my background, I've been in the banking field for over 2 decades in different capacities, including being branch manager right here on Gorham Street of the Gorham Street branch of Enterprise Bank. Yes. Yeah, I've been with them for over 14 years. And currently I'm a business developer in the Greater Lowell region, working with businesses and nonprofit organizations to help them achieve their growth and goals in our region. I'm originally from Dominican Republic, and I've been here since 2006, a proud Lowellian. I call Lowell home, and I'm very, very involved in community, and thanks to Enterprise Bank, where I developed my passion for community. So a lot of people know me from being out there in the community, working with local nonprofit organizations, and through that journey, I had the privilege and the honor to serve as the chair of the board for Coalition for a Better Acre, which is a nonprofit corporation that works with the empowerment of residents, and also is heavily impact the services of affordable housing in our city. So that has something is very meaningful to me, and every family deserves a place to call home. So that's part of my background. I also work with other local nonprofit organizations out there.
Great, that's very good. What do you feel is the, what's your number one issue as far as for the city of Lowell? You want to see happen or improve on, or I know Francisco's talked about the police as well as his being more police. What's yours? Do you have a specific topic that you like to, or issue that you like to want to see addressed more if you become a councilor? So
yes, there are different ones. There's a lot of issues that happen in our city, and part of my bullet points or the issues that I really want to focus on are economic development, working with local business owners to avoid the issue of the revolving door that we see happening, like many businesses that are not able to continue to develop and unfortunately close their door. So we need to find a way, and there are many ways that we can actually be more supportive of these businesses that are the motor of our economy, local economy, and many of those business owners are Lowell residents, have families here, and we want to make sure that everyone is successful. And another issue, like I said, I'm very passionate about affordable housing, and that's an issue that we need to continue working on. And it's not only for renters; it's also for first-time home buyers. So we need to make sure that the word affordable it really means affordable for everyone in terms of pricing, and so they can actually continue to remain here in Lowell and thrive and raise their families.
You say you're the chairman of the Coalition for Better Acre?
Correct, yes.
Do you live in the acre, or do you live in another part of the city?
When I first came here to the United States, I lived for many years in the Acre neighborhood.
Yeah.
And when I joined the organization, CBA, I was just a board member representing a seat for the Acre neighborhood.
Okay.
And yes, but then I'm very close to the Acre. I know the neighborhood very well. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
So
You have, there's what, you got the 3 incumbents that are in the race, and is there 2 other candidates? Well, 1 other candidate besides you, Sixto, in the at-large?
There's two, the incumbent
Really tight
and,
on the microphone.
there's two, the incumbent and the other challenger.
No, I'm talking about his race. You
For his race
Yeah,
also.
3 incumbents
There's
and-
3 candidates and 3
two-
candidates in
3
my
other,
district.
okay. So there's no primary for your race? There's no, for your race? there's no primary.
at large, there is no primary at
All right.
this time, yeah, so
right.
we have 3 incumbents.
Sure.
I don't have the honor or privilege of knowing the latest candidate that is
Yeah.
running, Emil.
Yeah.
I know that the
John
first
had a
name-
list up earlier, maybe he'll put it up again. John had a list of candidates up earlier, so. you can talk
I just
about-
want to know, did you go out and play on, when you were a small kid, did you end up playing with Big Papi in Dominican Republic? Was it your neighbor or anything? And when you came over, you said 2006, did you speak English then?
When I came in 2006, I have my own version of English when I came here. Basically, when I was growing up in Dominican Republic, I joined baseball teams very late. It was probably like around 10 or 11 years old.
It kind of sounds like Big Papi. when you say
Yeah, you know, I'm waiting for a Big Papi story, you know?
Yeah, so I joined very late. All of my neighbors, like other little friends, they started probably when they were 5. And when I joined the baseball team, I was probably 10 or 11 years old. And I was very afraid of the ball. Like every time the ball was coming to me, I opened the path so the ball can pass because I was afraid that it was going to hit me. And I didn't become even though people were like mad at me because I had a good height, but then I didn't use it to become a baseball player. But it's something that is in our DNA in Dominican Republic, baseball. Yeah, and I wish I would be the.
I got to meet you when you first came here because I worked some of the details at the bank, and you were just a teller, and I've been very impressed how you came along, and now you're here in the city, and you're just giving more and more, and also to the Latino community, you're someone they look up to. I hear your name all the time. And even in my district, I just get upset because they're like, "Are you Sixto?" And I'm not Sixto. They're Jesus. I'm Francisco Maldonado. I'm the Puerto Rican that's running. But I'm very proud to see the journey that you've come. As I mentioned earlier, Lowell being the kickstart for migrants or for folks that are looking to have that American dream made possible. It's just, that story is always out there in Lowell. You see it every day. People come here and start that American dream and get involved. And that's why I like Lowell as much as I do. I don't want to leave Lowell. So I'm an admirer.
You say you've lived in Lowell for 20 years?
Tell me, you wanted this you put this up, you want to talk about this or no?
What's that?
The campaign? It's-
Oh, yeah, we were talking about, we were just talking about in the at-large race, how many candidates there were, and it's Eric Gitchia, the incumbent, Rita Mercy, the incumbent, Vesna Noon, the incumbent, and you have Sixto Dejesus and Emil Kaufman who are running as far as, so.
I don't know, Emil.
Yeah. I think he was originally going to run against Danny Rook in Pawtuckaville. I thought that name was the one that popped up, so he must have changed his mind. So, and here's the rest. You got Dan Rook, who was unopposed. Corey Robinson's unopposed. And then you got, in District 3, you got Corey Belanger, the incumbent, which challenges Dan Flynn, Aaron Gendron, and Belinda Duran. And then you got the downtown district, incumbent Wayne Janess with the challenges Sean McDonough, who's putting on quite a campaign. That kid, man, every time on Facebook you turn, he's doing something. He's really out there working hard.
I like Sean McDonough.
Yeah.
He's a new, fresh face.
Man, yeah.
I met his whole family. I love the fact that he's again back to the kickstart American dream here. You know, he's part of that here in Lowell.
And then in District 5, you got Kim Scott, who has a challenger, Sherry O'Connor Barboza. And then Lower Highlands, Sakari Chow's unopposed. Acre, you got Paul Rethiem, who is an incumbent with Cindy Lang and Jose Severades. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. District 8.
Jose Cervantes.
In District 8, you got incumbent John Dakota, which challenges Francisco Maldonado and Marcos Candido. So then in the school committee, you got, you got, in the at-large race, you got Connie Martin, the incumbent, Danielle McFadden, who's a challenger with Bob Hoey and Zoe, and I don't know. Jazinko. Freddie Barr, who's unopposed. Eileen DeRossi's unopposed. Dave Conway's unopposed. Dominic Lay's unopposed. So that's quite a feat to have no race, you know. So you came here 20 years ago, you said?
Yes,
Now, did you come from the Dominican, or did you live somewhere else before here in Lowell? Did you come right from the?
No, straight up
Wow.
to Lowell.
Wow.
And
Great.
ever since I came to Lowell, I felt right at home, welcome with this diversity. And this is where I my adult life, I completed in a way that I got a lot of opportunities, and I know there's a lot of opportunities out there. I always wanted to live lead as an example for others in the community. I know a lot of talented people out there, and I just want to make sure that they have the same opportunities.
So Sixto, how do we pronounce your last name? Because I say DeJesus.
That's what I say.
American way, that's fine.
That's okay. You're okay with DeJesus?
Dejesus.
No, Cisco, I'm asking him.
No.
Yeah, I'm that's fine with me. I don't get offended with the pronunciation of my name.
Just don't call you late for dinner.
So the right pronunciation of the last name is Dejesus. Dejesus. That's the pronunciation. And then my fellow Americans say
DeJesus.
DeJesus.
Yeah.
But
Are you related to Jesus? I just want to know. Because some people say you are.
Oh yeah. Well, I got that a couple times, but no. This is I learned that that's a Portuguese last name. It's not that common in Dominican Republic. I believe it's more popular in Puerto Rico for some reason. It's a name a last name that represents the family from the side of my father, and I grew up looking up to him. He's not with us nowadays, but I know that I always strive to make him proud, and he gave me and my family the education and the resources to actually be people of good, and with the little that he had, the little education that he had, he was able to actually make sure that we were able to be good people. We are from humble beginnings back in Dominican Republic, live in a neighborhood that it was there was a lot of crime, there were gangs, and somehow he actually made sure that we were able to go to schools and after-school programs like to learn English or computers to keep us busy, to keep us out of the neighborhood where unfortunately I saw a lot of like friends, lose their life and go the wrong path. So it's a story,
There's good and bad in every nationality. Maybe they'll say a Puerto Rican or an Asian, or it's good and bad in all nationalities.
Mostly good.
Yeah.
My question.
99% of the people
My
are
question
good.
for the two geniuses that are from Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic is, which has the more pretty woman? Dominican or Puerto Rican?
They're both beautiful. How can you answer that? They're both beautiful.
See, that's
There's
a
beautiful women everywhere.
a good cop answer. That's good.
Yeah. No, I believe the same thing. The Puerto Rican and the Dominican women are pretty similar in terms of culture and the way they manage themselves. It's a very Latin, very Caribbean style. It depends on men. People have different tastes, right? In terms of physically, right?
You're going to get yourself in trouble here. Let's go back to...
Now, just stick with Cisco. Cisco had it right.
Let's go back to... what are you finding out talking to the neighbors when you're canvassing? Are you running into the same issues that I'm running into? I think for me, up in the Upper Highlands, people are still complaining about potholes and speeding in their district. And they bring me to the potholes. I've been dragged from the threshold of their homes to the end of their driveway, and there's big pothole. It's
How can potholes still be existing in August?
It's August, and they're demanding.
Cisco,
where's their tax money being spent?
The problem with the city of Lowell is, I'm lucky enough to go to Tewksbury every day. And
Oz, as you call it, right?
Exactly,
Oz.
it's the land of Oz. And when you watch the selectmen's meetings, they don't talk about potholes. It never comes up because the town fixes them. It's not an issue. And yet, valuable city council time is taken up by potholes. And I just got to say, what's the difference? Management. And what was never reported. Well, in Tewksbury, they don't report potholes. They just fix them.
John, I've gone to the 311 and I've reported.
You shouldn't have to.
I understand. It should be.
We hired so many out-of-towners, Cisco, they don't even drive over the potholes in the city. Mm-hmm. It should not be a city council.
I agree there.
Should not be a city council issue. It's a management issue.
It is.
Poor management.
Yeah.
There's been one on Merrimack Street that I have been hitting all summer long, and I can't believe that the downtown council is not going to complain on it. It's right up near, not too far from City Hall, not too far from the Santa Bank, and you hit the thing, and boom, I know enough now to go around it.
The latest thing I've been hearing is like, where's our money? Where is my tax money being spent? Are we out of money? I hear that now. Recently, I heard that yesterday.
I hired all my friends. What do you want me to do? Look, I'm going to do these announcements. I'm going to shut your mic off.
Okay.
And so you guys can chit-chat over there. I got about 2 minutes tops here. No, your mic's off. It's off. So the texts are coming in wicked slow this morning. So I think I'm going to quit this messenger and I'll restart it. Maybe the text will come in quicker because this is when a little while back this morning. Here's to a speedy recovery from Bob Hoey. The entire city has your entire family in their thoughts and prayers. And good morning. And then the next one, what happened to the next guy? Good morning. Good luck to Francisco and his bid for city council. Always great to see Mr. Cox when he comes on the show. I hope Mr. Hoey gets well soon. Tom is doing a great job. That's from Bart. And you want him in charge on Judgment Day. And it's old. And I got this one here. The state is addicted to the money that comes from the evils of society. A good angle to look at it, talk to your state reps. Also food addiction. Yeah, I do love my food. Now, Bobby Hoey. He's in Tufts Medical Center down in Boston. Had a severe heart attack last week, and so if you want to send Bobby a get well card, take your fancy phone out of your pocket. Oh, let me put this on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, take your fancy phone out of your pocket and take a picture of this slide and send Bobby a card. And he's progressing. The doctors are surprised at how well he's doing, and but he does continue in his. I think everyone would agree it has to do with the prayers everybody's giving him. So whoever you pray to, some deep prayer for Bobby would be great stuff. So Tommy, I'm going to go back over to you. You're ready to go. Back over to you.
When I called down to medical stuff yesterday, it's key that you put that whole address in there. They have so many buildings and wings. You got to put exactly what it says in there, because she said it could get lost in the shuffle, she said. So, but
I got a message for Bobby from the Luna family. They said, when he says to the moon and back, they don't want him to go to the moon yet. So, they like Bobby a lot.
So I put this question to Francisco last week, and I'll put it to you this week. So you're elected to the city council, okay? You're elected in November. So you're obviously sworn in January. What's going to be your first conversation with the city manager? And what do you want to talk to him about? Issues, we were talking about your issues, and what do you think it will be?
Well, I'm going to...
I don't want to put you on a spot. That's what I just do. It's just...
I just the first thing that I think I will talk about him is with him is about what John mentioned about the management, about
there you go.
The things that need to be taken care of, and that we're putting on the residents to report issues. And then there are so many city workers around in our city, and the fact that they are not prompt resolving issues as simple as fixing potholes that are on the road. It's something that needs to be addressed. We need to be more on top of that. So I think that's the first thing that I will, because that's one of the biggest issues of the residents, and why Lobo is, we're trying to move Lobo forward. We're having a lot of visitors, a lot of bringing new corporations here, trying to make this city attractive to so many newcomers, and the infrastructure needs to be taken care of on a timely manner.
And we were talking, it just hit me when you say about minorities and the different ones, different all throughout the city. If you two guys win, you're going to have 5 city councils that are going to be, you got Paul Rethiam if he wins, Sakari Chow, Vesna Noom, you.
Well, Sakari's back in, he's got no competition.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, there'll be 5 councilors joined it. Well, you say minority, that's what, it's going to be pretty good.
A good, diverse group of people with different coaches and different ideas, which is what you need. 11 councilors voting together and working together. I think that's really great. I mean, there's a lot of ideas, and it takes a good number to get anything passed. You need 6, obviously.
Yeah.
But with 11, I think you get 11 bright people in there working together.
And a fantastic mayor, in my opinion.
It can only make the city better.
And I think that's key. Whoever the mayor is, Dan Rourke, full disclosure, is a good friend of mine. So, but I mean, still, he's done a fantastic job as the mayor, and I think that's key. And when you have a council, when you have a new mayor, or if Dan wants to be mayor again, that's key. Who runs the meetings, gets the things through, and I mean, I think it was totally ridiculous. Was it a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when he wanted to continue a meeting to get some things wrapped up, and the council wouldn't let him do it? Stupid. Yeah, really. I don't know what they were thinking.
And you are talking about the aftermath after the elections, right?
Yeah.
Like if whoever makes it and about that diversity. But I'm very excited of what's happening right now in terms of the election. I mean, running. There are so many options out there. So many people. You were asking me what they talk about when I meet with them. Many of them just continue to talk about the infrastructure, about the potholes, about small issues, but many of them are looking talk about change because they feel that a lot of things haven't been taken care of over the years, and they just feel like they want to see change. And now we have so many options, so many opportunities in all the districts, most of the districts, for you to actually consider, decide, learn, and know that there's an opportunity for you to pick an option that actually represents you well and that can be part of that change that you are looking to have here in the city of Lowell.
And it's key, you have a finance, a finance background, so that's going to be key to, if you become a city council with finances, because that's one of the big issues now, I mean, as far as.
I agree, the budget that's put out by the city of Lowell, the average person can't process that budget.
Yeah.
I can read it, but I can't process it.
Right.
Can you process the budget, Sixto?
I
presented?
cannot process the budget, but I think we need to work together and review every single aspect and work with all the vendors that the city has to make sure that we are getting the same service or better service for a lower price in the different areas, so we are able to manage all the federal funding cuts that we are getting and going forward. So it will take a lot of planning, and there's a lot of people with the knowledge here in the city. We have to listen. We have to work with all the different experts from different areas. So this is not about a city councilor individually knowing everything. I understand that we need to be open to listen and bring experts to the table, and we have all of those here in the city of Lowell. There's a lot of people. I'm running for Lowell City Council. Not everybody runs for Lowell City Council, maybe because they don't have the time or something is going on in their lives, but they have the same capabilities or even more. But then they do not do that. But they are able to support the city, providing their ideas. It's a matter of working with them and listening to all of these local talent that we have here in the city of Lowell.
So I'd ask both of you guys running the council. We have a water department that doesn't fix the water pipes. They outsource it. We have a cemetery that's going to outsource all their services. And we're already paying people to work at the cemetery. Why are we doing this? We're already paying people to work to the water department, and yet less than a month ago on Thorndike Street, they sprung a leak, and they had an outside firm, showed up with 25 guys and all these beautiful equipment. I'm going to guess that probably cost us $20,000 to fix that water pipe. And we have a full-time staff at the water department. Why aren't they educated to do this stuff? Tewksbury fixes their own water pipes. Why doesn't Lowell?
I agree, John. And when you said, how do you handle the budget? The budget is the same as handling the budget at home, especially now. Our budgets are getting tighter at home, right? We're cutting back on a lot of things. We're not going out to eat like we often did in the past. We're not going to movie shows or entertainments less in the budget. So I would assume that, the city budget should be the same. When things get tight on, number, you start with a number and you say, well, if we want all this is how much on tax levy we need, are we willing to go get a second job at home, right? It's and a lot of us don't want second jobs, so you cut back on your expenses. So I expect the city budget to be the same at the city level as it is at home, cut back.
Where would you cut?
I definitely would look at top management. I think we need more bottom workers, and obviously that's evident with the services that people are complaining about in the city. Why do we still have potholes that unfill? Why aren't we doing the services that are required to keep the city running, and we're subcontracting? That would be my thing that I would want to look into, is like, why is it happening that way? Is it because we're spending the money in the wrong location of that department? Or is it because the expenses have gone to a point where it's more
the
feasible
cemetery
to
stop cutting their own grass? Why? Why do we do that? It's just, we outsource it, so we screw those guys out of a pension. That's what we're doing. When we outsource, we screw those guys out of a pension. Those guys run around with weed whackers doing all, you got no pension for you, buddy.
Yeah, no, and I also believe that, we should be creating jobs. We're the largest employer in the city. Do you not believe, is that not true, John?
That is true.
The city of Lowell, government is the largest employer in the city. And where else do people go to work if in Lowell? Because it doesn't seem like we're building residential areas, but we're not building any manufacturing or any other business that would employ people in the city.
And I'd like to know, once you guys get in there, what does DPD do? I don't want to guess, I want to know what they do. They're in a locked environment, you can't get into their facility. What do they do? I just want to know. What do they do?
What do you mean a locked environment? You can't.
You can't get into the department.
Really? Oh, wow.
Into the DPW
No,
DPD.
DPD.
Department of Planning and Development.
department.
We're buying him a separate building.
They were in the JFK Civic Center and they're moving, right? Is that-
Every time
No,
I've
they're
ever
still
gone
there,
up
up
there,
on the
every time
second
I've ever
floor.
gone up there, the door's locked.
Huh.
You just can't walk in.
Right.
And the computer people, same thing. You just can't walk in that office.
We need to find out, Francisco, what's going on.
You should be able to, if you're in City Hall, you should be able to walk into any office you want. But try those two departments and you bounce off the door. So are they sleeping inside or what are they doing? And speaking of computers, is the hack all fixed? Can they use their computers now? Is everything, well, the computers are all working. Well, I'm being told by your employees they're not. Like, Cisco, you're a retired cop. Did they do the reports on their computer now?
When I left in March, they were having difficulty with the computer system.
Why?
I agree with you.
People running the stuff.
I
We hired
agree.
too many of our friends who don't know how to fix it.
I agree there. My concern was the reporting of incidents in the cruisers. That was something that was easily accessible to the patrolmen on the street. They could go in and write a quick report in their cruiser, and then when I left, they weren't able to do that.
Well, I was told the body cameras were on a big gigantic, do they all have body cameras now?
Yes.
Best safety issue you could ever have for a cop. Those body cameras are great.
Oh, no, I agree. I think it makes the job real for folks that don't know what a police officer goes through daily. The disrespect, the actual de-escalation tactics that they're using prior to things going really bad. And that's all collected in those footage when an officer shows up at a call.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
I noticed, good, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I just don't want to miss the opportunity earlier because, we're going a little fast, but Francisco has some kind words for me, and I really thank you for that.
I just want money. Can you lend me some money?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know you'll qualify. Yeah, so thank you so much for your, how highly you think about me. I also think highly about you. I know you for many years in our community, and you've been also a role model for everyone, but especially the Hispanic community. For what you have done in our city. Thank you for your service. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Francisco.
Thank you. As everyone sees, we're big huggers in the Latin community, always kissing and hugging. We're proud people. So, de Jesus y Maldonado, and Jose de
Cervantes.
Cervantes. See, I'm even getting confused. All great last Latino names. I love it.
You also were asking me about where I learned English, if I knew English. So when I was growing up, all my cousins from my father's side, they were born and raised in New York City. So they used to go back on vacation to Dominican Republic, and they used to talk among themselves in English. And I was always like, complaining to my dad, "Hey, Daddy, they're talking about me," and started crying. And he said, "Don't worry, my son, you're going to learn English." Sure enough, he signed me up for English classes back there. But then, I even work as a bilingual employee at banks over there. But when I came here, I hit the wall because it was the English that I learned there was not the English the American English. It was like more like a British English. So I was having so many issues with the slang. And something as simple as like my first job, I asked a customer like, "How are you doing?" And he said like, "Oh, hanging in there." And I started looking at the ceiling to see where he was hanging from. So I had to buy American slang books to help me actually relearn English and be able to communicate more fluently.
Well,
when I landed
that's
my job,
wicked cool, man. Wicked cool.
Now, you two gentlemen, you speak Spanish, or do you, what is it called, Dominican? What do you?
It's Spanish. The language is Spanish.
So
it's
like,
Spanish in Dominican Republic. It's
my
Spanish
daughter-in-law
in
is
Puerto
Honduran.
Rico.
Is that Spanish that she spoke? Honduran. My daughter-in-law is Honduran.
That's Spanish. Yeah.
That's Spanish.
There's
Okay.
different dialects in
Okay.
each country, but the core of language is Spanish, like English, the English, American English, the England English. There's different, you know what I mean? It's English, but there's a lot of different dialects.
Sure.
You know?
We were talking before the show started, about an hour ago, about, there's an article in the Little Sun today. I noticed you have a lot of signs up, Good job, a lot of signs. There's an issue in the paper today about vandalism. Have you had any of that issue with your signs being vandalized?
With the signs?
Yeah. It's in the Little Sun this morning, you'll see it.
Yeah, that report, I haven't had opportunity to see the report from the Lowell Sun, but
No,
it
you'll
might
see it
have
today,
something
yeah.
to do with what happened to Paul Ratajem, where one of his banners was actually sliced and cut,
Right,
and
right, yeah,
so I made a statement on in my campaign Facebook site about that. Not
Issues or something? Is that true?
Yes, we
Oh.
did when it first started.
Okay.
With Francisco's mic.
Right.
And I said to him, you want to redo the question? He said no.
Yeah,
There was, just a thing with one mic, and it got fixed. Crystal came right out and fixed it.
Yeah. So who do you have on tonight? Who's debating tonight?
Belvedere is at 6 o'clock.
Oh.
That's Councilor Corey Belanger,
Gendron?
Linda Jadan, Gendron,
Yep.
and Dan Finn.
Okay.
And at 7:30 will be the ACA. That will be Paul Rathiem, Sidney Lang, and how do you put? Is it Jose Cervantes?
Go ahead, De Jesus. Cervantes. Jose Cervantes.
I hope he wears his collar. He's a great guy. I don't know him well. I got to know him since he started running, but what a great guy.
So these are half-hour debates?
An hour and a half because of commercials.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
we'll start at 6 and go to 7:30.
Okay.
We have commercials at 6:30 and 7. Now, with the Highlands, we're able to get some questions in. So
Wow.
hopefully we'll do the same tonight. And they were all good. All the candidates were very good.
And then eventually we'll be doing the at-large candidates too, down the road? Debates.
They don't have a
Oh,
preliminary.
so you'll wait till after the preliminary to do those?
Right. I only did this early, like right now, because the election is September 9th.
Yeah.
Early voting is the end of August. So
Right,
they'll
right.
probably be voting August 28th and 29th.
Yeah.
You know, candidates, I don't think, want to be debating 2 weeks before the election.
No,
They want
no.
to be out knocking doors, going to
Right.
different events. So I do them early, and there's really someone said to me yesterday who listened, there's really no more avenues to get your voice out.
No.
There used to be a lot of newspapers. If it wasn't for City Life and the radio and the Lowell Sun, the candidates to get their message out is very tough today.
Marty, remember the
It's
5-minute after Saturday afternoons, the candidates they'd buy time on CAP and do a 5-minute talk, each one of them, but it wasn't those are the good old
Freddie
days.
Freddie Doyle was the best.
Yep.
I used to work at S&H Green Stamps, Tommy, in high school, and the store
I
would
remember
just
that,
about
yeah.
shut down to listen to And I got to know Freddie when I was running, and I like Freddie.
Oh, I did too. He's a great guy. Unfortunately,
He was a
passed away
great
few years
guy, and
ago.
I liked
Yeah.
Freddie, but
Yeah.
he had the best 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
back to the bus up, what's happening tonight?
So tonight is, go ahead, Marty, why don't you explain what's happening tonight?
At 6 o'clock, we're going to go right into the debate.
So first of all, it's on WCAP 980 AM on your dial at 6
What you
o'clock
said.
tonight. Please proceed.
So at 6 o'clock, we'll kick off the Belvedere debate. They'll start with their 1-minute openings. We'll go into questions, and then 2 minutes for a closing, and then we'll go at 7:30. We'll go right to the ACA. Francisco made a good point. I have a 2-minute time limit on answers, and they always, you don't have to use it. I said to Francisco, you don't have to use it, but in past debates, we'd have a candidate who would get up and just go. And I felt it was unfair to the other candidates. So after 2 minutes, it's like, that's it, you know? But if you only need a minute, that's even better. After the break, we went in, I thought we'd have one question. We actually got 2 in, and the answers were quick, bang, bang. So it's good. But, you know, debates, everyone looks for a winner or loser. I've never seen a winner and loser. The only loser I ever saw was Joe Biden. Against Donald
Now,
Trump.
were the debates this past Saturday cordial between the two candidates?
They always are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know sometimes they get hot, yeah.
You know, in Lowell, when you're out campaigning, you're going to different events, you see each other all the time. And Lowell's lucky. We have a lot of class people. The people in Lowell are really good, whether they're candidates, participants. Lowell has a lot of class. It really does. And you very seldom do you see candidates get into any type of conflict.
Sure.
It's always cordial.
Sure. Well, thanks for calling, Marty. We're looking forward to hearing
Thanks,
these debates. And
tell John I said thanks for the, John.
And for the folks that are going to listen to this debate tonight, again, it's on WCAP 980 AM on the radio. So, again, WCAP 980 AM.
thanks, Marty.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Nice, thank you. So, you were asking about the issue with the signs being vandalized out there. So, yeah, so that was very, very drastic. Those signs are expensive, especially the banner that Port Rata James got vandalized recently. I was a victim of this issue, similar issue where my signs were stolen. And it started in the Pawtucketville area, then Centerville. Then it happened a lot in Belvedere where I have a lot of signs. Many of my signs were stolen, and it doesn't feel good. You try to understand what's going through some people's mind, and it's not cool. It's not okay. We need to allow the process, you know, to happen. So it's about working together, about unity, about uplifting each other, and not dividing. So this creates division and it's unnecessary, and I hope that stops, and then that has no place here.
So, Jesus, I just want to know, have you gone to eBay and looked for your signs? Because it could be valuable. They're being sold right now.
Well, they'll only be valuable if he wins. That's what
I'm always amazed that someone steals something and they put it on eBay. And so,
Yeah, it
just
could be-
kidding, but it's definitely a serious thing. There's a lot of money involved in signage and advertisement, and it's all about the democratic process. We need to respect each other and respect each other's property. I mean, the stuff is out there, just leave it alone. If it's put somewhere where you don't want it, I guarantee if you call that candidate and say, look, you know, I want this sign removed for this reason, they're going to listen to you, and they'll probably do as they are asked.
Yeah.
I mean, the situation is that when you place a sign, it's in the lawn of a person who actually welcome you to do that. So the people who are removing is not the owners of the house.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had to print more signs because the request is hot this year.
Right, great.
Yeah.
And I've been looking
That's
on
a good
eBay
problem.
to buy
That's a
some.
good problem.
Yeah. So, I want to thank you again for...
This is out of today's Lowell Sun. And,
Yes.
That's what happened. They just ripped Paul Rathiem's sign right in half and
Yes.
stole your stuff, and
deplorable. Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so
So what made you, when did you make this decision to run? Back in the spring, back last fall? When did you decide I'm going to run for city council?
well, for me, it was last fall.
Last fall, okay.
Yes, yeah. I've been out there in the community a lot. A lot of people know me from the community. They didn't know me from in this field, like you know,
Right.
what I'm doing right now. But I was being asked, like, hey, you are someone that actually could be a good representation in the city, and use all your networking and all your background to give back, you know, through the city. And I thought of that last fall, and I said that this was the time. Something clicking, and I said, yeah, this I think like I feel ready. I feel like I have the background and the experience to actually be able to help be part of the solution. I've always been working with nonprofits in the community,
Right.
and at different capacities, and you can help a certain amount of people, but working where in the place where the decisions are made here in our city, the city hall, in the city council, we define the you know, the our luck in the community, you know, like and being in the place where the decisions are made, I can actually impact more people, more lives,
Sure.
Of more residents in our city, all around the city, and that's another reason why I decided to run at large. I want to be able to represent everyone, make sure that all the neighborhoods are feel that their voices are heard.
Yeah. Were you thinking originally run a district, or was it always citywide? Were you thinking originally to run
Always citywide. Always citywide.
That's great, because
Yeah.
there's so many people, it's just complacent, they don't want to run, they don't want to get involved, they don't, and we see it in Drake. I live in Drake, and it's pulling teeth to get candidates to run.
Well,
And I know why, the reason is.
It's a lot of
Well,
work.
how much do you
I mean,
pay 'em?
It's a lot of work on.
Yeah, it's nothing
It's
to do
a
with it.
full-time job. First
Has
of all,
nothing to do with
Bob, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom, sorry. It's a full-time job for a local politician, because people are calling you all the time on 24/7, and you better be ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you know, we had the discussion with my wife and Diego, my dog, on, are we ready for this? This is on, you know, 24/7. And, you know, she said, this is not going to be any different than you when you were traffic recon. And we got the calls in the middle of the night, and you had to jump out of bed, and I would run and pack something for you to eat. So, I mean, it does take a team, first of all, and I appreciate the team I have that involves my wife, my dog, my cousins I brought along on, Tom, just because I felt like, hey, I'll be the catalyst to get this going in this community. I have two very intelligent cousins, Olga Diaz, she's corporate, she works corporate, and she's the treasury for our campaign, and also Amo Diaz Maldonado, my other cousin, and he's very more active in the community than I was, because as a police officer, I've always distanced myself from the community so that there'd be no allegations when I made decisions. So
Right,
it
right.
wasn't, it was purposely done that way because it's just a safer way. I really believe that you have to have some integrity, decision making, and you can't be biased. And I distanced myself from a lot of activities in the city because I didn't want to be in a situation where you ran into someone that expected a favor or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I was saying earlier about Drake and how a lot of the surrounding towns, I don't see it much in law as far as people not wanting to run. And the reason they don't want to run is their families. They get in Facebook, social media, getting
They don't
attacked.
get paid.
That is the
Drake
reason,
and
John.
selectmen don't
John,
get
they
paid.
shouldn't get paid.
John,
They shouldn't get paid.
Yeah, I mean,
They want to
hopefully-
be, they shouldn't.
Hopefully you can afford to do it. I agree.
Yeah.
The money, for the amount of work, I agree. You're not getting on what the job would require for pay if you really
Kids
wanted
are
to
so
hire
much
the
more
best.
expensive now than they were in the 50s.
What's
Every
that?
kid has an iPhone, every kid has an iPad,
Mm-hmm.
every kid has internet access, and cable TV in their bedroom. And if they
So
don't
what
have
about-
that, they whine until they
What
get it.
about the two candidates that are running in Lowell that won't even get paid? Getchia and McDonough.
All it would take is.
No,
one
you
of
say
the-
that, you say, but it's not gonna happen. You said it,
One
but
of the city councilors to have the guts to say, Mr. Manager, I make a motion that everyone be paid the same, regardless of
agree.
whether they work for the city or not. It'll get seconded, it'll pass 11-0, and the city manager will just go, well, it's against the law, change the law. Get the law changed, find a way to do this.
yeah.
I agree. You know, it's only fair. I mean, if they're putting in the work, you should get paid. I have no problem with that. I think it's something that needs to be revisited. I agree that, I mean, if you're gonna do the job, you should get paid.
Yeah.
I've always paid for anything that I
But like I say, these two
work for,
candidates,
you
meaning
know.
Getchia, Eric, and Sean McDonough, both know that they're not gonna get paid, and they're still running. That's, you know.
So with that story, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid that worked from Shaughnessy projects to Shaughnessy School, and I was with a group of kids, I probably will say I was 5 or 8, right? And we ended up stealing a can of money and from one of the businesses there, and I know the business, but I'm not gonna say because it's my buddy's business, so I said it. But anyway, we got pulled into Principal Mullins' office, and one thing that stuck to me, even today, this is crazy, he said, there is nothing in this world that you're gonna get for free. You always have to work for it. Again, so if we think the deal's too good, you know, it's not, there's something wrong with it. You know?
Right.
There's nothing free out there. Somebody has to pay for it.
Right.
Yes,
Well, we've got about 3 minutes to go, Sixto. If you want
Yes.
to give us some closing remarks,
yes, no, absolutely. Yes, so I just want to make sure to acknowledge my campaign manager, treasurer, and life partner, Tao Lan, very talented lady that has helped with our campaign throughout the year. Tao, thank you so much for everything that you've been doing, everything, even from the design of our signs, so our website, our strategies. She's been very influential in this part of the process, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much,
That's key.
Tao, for all that you do. My journey.
Tomorrow, City Life, we got Linda Bound's gonna be the host, and City Council Paul Rathayem's coming. Time is short, Tom.
all right. I just said that's why it's only can close the show if you want to. We've got 2 minutes to go now.
Yes. So I just want to let everyone know that in my journey from the Dominican Republic to Lowell, I've been able to see our community, like know the diversity, the different backgrounds. I speak fluently Spanish and Portuguese, and that is something that also helps me to close the gaps linguistically and culturally. I get along very well with I understand diversity and understand different cultures, and that actually is something that can help close the gap in terms of reaching people where they are, understanding where their needs are.
Sure.
And that's another thing that I bring to the table. My background in the finance field, and also in the community, being pro-community, being involved in our nonprofit world in the region, and being chair of the board of Coalition for a Better Acre. All of I bring some skills that equip me to actually be able to be a city councilor and help continue to help our community and move Lowell forward.
Well, thanks for coming. I'm sure we'll see you again. Francisco, thank you for pinch hitting today. So
Yeah, no, you know something, and before we go, let's pray again. Keep those prayers coming for
Bobby. Yeah.
and Hoey.
And for Ned Tarmey as well. Ned Tarmey's still
Yeah.
laid up
Yeah.
in rehab.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about Sixto for Lowell, there's a website, sixtoforlowell.com. You have all my contact there. Reach out and learn a little bit more about what we're trying to accomplish for the city of Lowell. Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic.
And if your kid needs baseball and coaching, he'll do some of that on the side.
Maybe Big Poppy will
Hey,
come
we'll
up.
see you tomorrow.
Let's go.
Thanks for
Big
watching.
Papi, the future.